What's up, good people? Welcome to the Game Changers podcast. I am your host, Diddy Onassis. Now let's go change the game. What up, good people? It's your guy, Diddy Onassis. Welcome back to the Game Changers podcast, and we have a fly guest in the building. I am stupid excited about this. This is going to be one of the flyest episodes that we've ever had on the Game Changers podcast. And keep in mind, this is going to be one of those interviews or one of those conversations where you don't want to miss a minute. I'm here with Chris Davis. He's an FPV Drone Expert. He has
Yes, sir.
Navy experience, top secret clearance experience. We never had that. Oh, my bad, Chris. Oh, my bad. He's I can call you an engineer, right? You're a 3D printer.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an engineer. He's really a jack of all trades, man. His nickname is DZ Does It.
DZ does it.
And we're gonna
Yes,
get
sir.
into why you were called DZ Does It later, a little bit later on. Man, Game Changers Podcast. Give a warm welcome to Chris Davis, aka DZ Does It. What's up, man? Welcome to the podcast, man. This is gonna be fire. I'm super excited. I'm a huge drone guy, you know. Well, I was
Yes, sir.
I was back in for a few years. I was there. I can't wait to talk some
Yes,
drone
sir.
talk with you, man. So let me close out this. Okay. So Chris, why did he call you DZ Does It? Let's talk about that.
So it kind of ties into the gamer thing. So like back in the day, my gamer tag was CDZ, and then like I had some numbers or whatever, but everybody just called me DZ, right? But like, so that kind of carried from Xbox to PlayStation to PC back to Xbox, and so like I just shortened it up to DZ, and then as I gained more skills and kind of being known to do more things in different industries and stuff, they're just like everybody called me DZ, right? So I was like, let me start learn about branding. Let me start learning about that kind of thing. So I mean, DZ does it. I do, like you said, the intro, which was beautiful, by the way. I appreciate you. Is I I I'd like to learn different things. I guess I'm just like a student of life, and that's kind of why my background is so diverse. Like even before that, I was doing door-to-door salesman. I was doing canvassing. I was a radiation safety technician.
Oh yeah.
I was doing Bro, and that was before the military. Then I got in the military, and then, like you said, I was IT slash crypto tech CT. So dealing with like secret squirrel type stuff. So I had to get my top secret security clearance with the SCI. They hooked me up, did a whole polygraph test, and did all that kind of fun stuff. Got out of the military, decided it just wasn't my path because originally I was contracted to be a SEAL, so IT SEAL, but I wasn't as bad as I thought I was. You know what I mean? So didn't quite make it through. So just kind of
You made it like a Navy SEAL?
Yeah, so that was in my original contract was like, so I was going through the process and I didn't quite make it. So fell back on just being a regular IT. And to me, it's like, I don't know, it wasn't enough, I guess. I don't know. I'm kind of hard headed like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So got out, got my computer information systems bachelor's degree, did a bunch of like contract work for the military, did a bunch of nonprofit work. Then I started my own stuff because like I saw these like drones, like these like racing drones, people doing like some wild stuff, and I was like, man, that's super cool.
Right.
And then I looked how expensive it was. Like, man, that's pretty expensive.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
I know
but
exactly
I'm kind of
what
smart, so I have to make my own. Like, so that's kind of where it started. So got into CAD design first because I had to design a 3D printer and then program that via Arduino to 3D print the supports for the CNC that I also used Arduino to cut the carbon fiber to make the drones that I wanted to make on the boat because I'm on a boat right now. I don't know if you can tell. So like all that on a boat.
I did not. I could not tell. I could not tell.
Yeah.
I thought it was just a fly like Batman hideout cave type thing. I don't know. You know, like you like Wilfred in there, like just cooking up gadgets or whatever, man. You know, Alfred, not Wilfred. Who's Wilfred?
I got a 3D printer, got a CNC machine behind me, got a laser printer, like, and it's all like just what you can see here. So when I hear people with excuses like, "Oh, I don't have space, I don't have time, I don't have one," I'm like, "No, you're just making excuses." Like other people might buy it, it's cool. Like for me, it kind of falls back to that old like one of my mentors told me a long time ago. Quote they heard was like, "Don't wish it were easier, wish you were better." Right. So, and I kind of just like that instilled it in me. I'm
Big.
like, you know what, like if I just kind of shift that little in my mind, then like my ADD and my kind of spontaneity and my like fearlessness, or I don't know, just dumb. Some people call it dumbness.
Ah,
I can use it to my advantage.
yeah, yeah. Man, look, I understand that whole uh the outside world, they would think that you were just, if you explained all of that, they would think you would just what do they call it? If that was all on the resume, they would say that you don't want to stick to one thing, and that would be a
Right.
negative, right? So I understand that because I have a similar type of love for knowledge and the thirst for knowledge. Like I can go. I have a range. I can go anywhere almost. I started out like I didn't know what I wanted to do after high school. I did not know. So I just like, all right, I'll just go to the local college. Went to the local college, got an associate's degree in business management. A friend of mine started throwing parties and rapping. So I was rolling around with him. I seen someone from Universal Music, like a marketing representative, and I was like, wow, I can go to school for marketing. Went back to school for marketing, got an associate's in marketing. Didn't do anything with it. Didn't know what to do. What the next steps for that was. So what? All right, cool. I'm going to work for Michelin. We made huge earth mover tires, right? Those huge tires that you see sticking out of a trailer, right? They work on like the oil tanker trucks or whatever in the oil
Yep.
sands. But so I became a team leader there. Moved on from there. Got into production planning for all kind of other companies, and then decided that I wanted to be a digital marketer because I started a business with my friend. We started selling in like Bluetooth speakers back when the Bluetooth boom was going on back in 2014, 2012,
I feel
14.
that.
The whole Bluetooth speaker thing was like huge, the floating speakers or whatever, or party speakers or whatever. So did that. I had to learn how to market and build websites, stuff like that. Moved on from that, and I started doing, a whole lot of other things. Fast forward to now. I took an internship. Matter of fact, I stopped production planning for like this huge company that's worldwide, just to take on this passion as a digital marketer to see what it was like at a real agency. That's what I'm doing now, and I got to tell you, not it's not the bee's knees. It's not the bee's. It's turning into a job, man. I thought it was going to be like
Mhm.
something that was going to be fun forever, but anyway, but but self taught on a lot of stuff. So I feel you that itch. You gotta go and get it, and you gotta, you know, not that you're doing anything half ass. You're gonna go whole all the way to learn how you do whatever you're supposed to be doing, and I feel you on that, man. So when people look at my resume and you're in these interviews, we're like, oh yeah, you bounced around a lot, So, but I feel you on that. I love that, man, and I love that. So DZ does it. I,
Yes.
the name that's a great name. And you said you were a gamer?
So yeah, I was a gamer back in the. Well, I just gamed a lot. Is really what it really was. And then yeah, it just kind of stuck around to everything. Kind of followed me around into my drones. Um,
What was you playing back then?
Call of Duty. Yeah, I still play Call of Duty now. It's not like, but now like,
Talking about
bro. So like, I still play, and I'll talk that shit. But my son will come in the room, and then I just shut up. Like
because he's that
he's
he's
a
that guy.
savage. Like, and then like, so I asked him one day. I was like, so why'd you get like so good? Like what? How many hours? Like I know you put in like thousands of hours, whatever. Like he's just like like he's that dude. He's like, I remember you kicked me out of a lobby once when I was a kid, when I was younger, and I was like, never again. I was like, let's go. And like, I was like, yeah, I'll show you some of his stuff later. His name's Tenacity.
Okay,
Savvy.
crazy.
Yeah,
Oh man,
yeah.
that's
So
that's dope, man. So
his name was TDZ. And mine was CDZ, right? So that's where the nickname kind of DZ does. But he switched over to tenacity because he was like hard headed and stuff. He was like, "Yeah, I'm just tenacious." I was like, "Okay." I'm like, go ahead. I like that."
Yeah.
Um,
That's gotta
yeah.
be that's gotta be a great feeling to see your son come up and just be dope at the game. I mean, especially
Oh
if he's
yeah, dude.
especially if he's spanking that ass, like, you know what I mean?
Correct. Like I said, I'm all right. Like I'll talk that shit, but yep. He's like, "You want to go 1v1?" I was like, "Shut up, man." Like I have to like talk my way out of it. You know what I mean? But not sound like I'm
Man, I ain't
scared.
got
To be like,
time for
"Look,
that
man,
right now,
last
man.
time."
Man, I gotta go and
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I gotta go to the grocery store, man. I need to, I gotta
Last
grab
time
these
you cried,
materials.
bro. I mean, that was you crying. I was like, "Listen, man, I ain't never cried in my life." But
Yo, that's
so
gotta be
yeah, the
dope, man.
gaming,
Gotta be
and
dope.
I think that kind of comes back to that like the whole full circle for everybody. Like, okay, money, whatever, whatever, but like everybody's real currency is just happiness, right?
Mhm.
And like you can even just talking about these stories, you're smiling and laughing and stuff. And I think that's what people don't understand. They're like, oh, they're just wasting their time. Like, no, like with mental health being so big right now, they're like, why isn't it like people aren't actually going outside and doing that physical release that they used to do, right? They don't build that same camaraderie
Right.
that they used to do. Like we were around before the internet. Like that should sound weird.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I had to take a second because damn, that should sound weird. Like
Think about the phone.
before the
Think about the
internet.
phones. The internet is one thing, but think about the phones.
Yep.
I don't even know what the rotor is. It a rotor router phone? I don't know
Oh,
what
yeah,
it's
the
called.
rotary phone?
The rotary phone.
Yep.
You know, they don't know what that. People don't know what that is, man. Um,
Nope.
that's 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 got to be insane to see that though. Think about where we came in the last 30 years. So 35 years, right? So by the time we tap out in the next, I mean, Lord willing, the next 35, 40 years, right?
Longer than yeah,
Atlanta,
longer than
where will we be then, right? And I know you know because you have a top secret. I mean, you're in
well,
the know.
technology,
Yeah,
typically, right, it's not like this, right? It'll kinda it'll curve
right,
up.
right.
And the same thing and then now technology and medical is going like that too. So that's why I think we're gonna be sticking around for a minute, right? If we can stick around for another 20 years, we'll be able to extend our life through medical advances and between AI, quantum computing, and, I think we'll be alright for another 50 years plus, like
And you know what? I was watching the Ant-Man and the Wasp, like the last one that's on Disney Plus now. I don't know if you saw it, but a
mm-mm.
lot of that stuff that was in that movie, a lot of the weapons, a lot of the aircraft, the buildings were mechanical. That's the best way my mind can like
Okay.
describe it to you because I don't know what the correct term was. So this guy
I
was
got you.
this guy was this guy was flying like the plane. Michael J.
Okay.
Fox. Is that Michael J. Fox?
Mhm.
Is that
I was like, the guy with the shakes?
that's not Michael J. Fox? Oh my god, man, I can't remember his name, but he was Hank. Hank was flying the plane with arms,
Okay.
right? So,
Okay.
and the first thing I thought about was like, okay, like the VR mode in you know, where these guys were flying drones with VR headset, well,
Mhm.
yeah, the Oculus looking thing on is,
Yep.
and this was like the first time I saw it for like what 2016 maybe. I don't know, but
Okay.
maybe around that time when I was like researching some drones or whatever, and I saw these guys flying these drones, man, with the VR on. Is that is that
This
your
is like 2016.
Oh, okay. Exactly.
Yeah, so this is actually so I think this was manufactured in either 2016, 2017. So this is the Fat Sharks. This is the old analog technology that we used to use.
Right.
But yeah, just so basically whatever the drone sees is what you see. So you're the bird, you get to fly everything, but you're just using your fingers.
And I saw
Is
that.
how that works with the FPV drones and like
But that comes as a
different sizes.
it comes as a kit though, right? Like, you have to put that together on the drone.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, all the solder points, all the like everything, the programming, the like different transmitters need different stuff. So yeah, it's fairly technical, and I think that was the biggest entry to barrier in the past was that steep learning curve on the technical side. Um, and so I worked with a company called Newbie Drone so I did my own company, got basically recruited into Newbie Drone, and then so I've been working with Newbie Drone. I think I worked with them for forget how many years, but I've been gone now for 2, 3 years.
Okay.
But I helped them develop and then like
Whoa, whoa,
improve little
whoa,
drones like this.
whoa. Hold up. Start from the
Yeah.
beginning. I didn't want to go there yet, but what I think my point I was trying to make was like in the future, in the next probably 5 years or maybe 10 years, we're gonna be putting on glasses like regular cool glasses and just like flying the drone with our eyes like crazy like this right here, right? You know. But how did you
Yeah.
get
It'll
into
probably be simpler than that. It'll be that Neuralink that
Neuralink?
Elon's working, right? Like that, something like that, where it just reads the sensors, where it's just you don't even have to have the physical whatever. It's just it reads the electrical signals going on in your brain, and then it'll almost probably be like learning how to like walk again or something weird. Like I can't wait. Personally, I'm excited. I know other people are like terrified of it. Bro, I can't wait.
I'm
I'm
kind of in
super excited.
between. I'm like kind of scared and happy, like excited about it because like who has control? Like, is it a like is it a open like is it a one-way thing or is it a two-way thing or is it a
Right.
three-way thing? Can you be hacked or something like that? You know?
Right. Just a hard switch. Yep.
Right. So I've seen too many movies, man. You know, I've seen too many movies. Like, but how did you get into um, the whole drone crusade? I guess you know, like because I know it for me. Like the bug when I caught the bug was probably watching GI Joe. That scene where in GI Joe where they threw out the little drones and they started flying all over the place. Like just the movies. I say that the movies, right?
Right. Right.
But when did you catch the bug?
So I was at a park, or one of my buddies invited me to a park. He's like, "Hey, I have this hobby." He was like, "I think you'd really like it. Come check it out." And then when I showed up, they had like this course set up in the park, and then like four of these guys ripping around, going like through all the hoops and stuff. And I was just like, I don't know what this is, but I'm in. And it's like that day, like I started talking to them about the different companies and the different technologies that you need to learn and the skill sets that you need to learn. Because if you can't solder, back then you had no chance. If you couldn't program, back then no chance. If you couldn't troubleshoot like code back then,
Mhm.
almost you had no chance.
Wow.
So
What year was that?
that's it. I don't want to lie to you. So let me look at my Instagram while
I I know
while
for
I
me, like, it was none I bought mine straight out of the box. I had, like, one of those toy joints from Amazon maybe. Like, it was, like,
oh, yeah.
small, right? Like the one you held up, the purple one, but it
Yep.
sucked 'cause you don't have any control with it, you know, it's like you can fly into a wall, you can't maneuver, or I can't maneuver or whatever, but I bought one of those to just play around with. Then I
Mhm.
end up getting the 3D Robotics, Iris Plus,
Yep.
and,
Yep.
'cause
3D.
I like that one
That was
because
San Diego company.
what's what'd you say?
I think that was a San Diego company.
I think it is. I think it is. So I got that one and I was like, okay, so this one has the features where you can hook it up to your iPad and map out like a mission. You know, that's how they describe
Yeah.
it. You can tell it to go here, A, B, or C and come back and land itself, right? Then
Right.
I was like, this is cool, but it's kind of slow. So I got the DJI Inspire 1. And that thing goes for like 45 miles an hour. So I thought I was the shit.
Yeah.
I thought I was going crazy, man. And I love the DJI Inspire One. That was my baby, and that was it. That was my I put the drones down to play Call of Duty, and I really and create content. I really wish that I hadn't because my DJI now is like dead. I didn't fly for like a year and a half, and it's just dead in the box in storage right
Going
now.
to charge.
Yeah, man. I want to fix it because just fucking it's just fun, man, you know what I mean?
It's fun to me.
Definitely.
Yeah, so my first design, that I, like, made and flew and everything was 6.5 years ago, and then, like, started selling was about 6.5 years ago, so first it was, 8 years, maybe a little bit more probably, when I first started. Yeah, it's been a wild ride to see where it's come from and the technology where it is now and what you're able to do now and, like, what you're able to see now, like, in the goggles. Because before this was, like, 480p maybe with static from like 1980s on a TV where you had to adjust the, you know what I mean? So like it was real bad. But now you get 720 at like 50 frames in your eyes. It's pretty intense. So it's like it literally changed the way I flew. Like before, I would fly just like to like wow with tricks or to like to wow with speed or whatever. But once I saw the digital side and I can see like every little branch in a tree,
Hmm.
I was just like, I'm gonna go look at that tree. And I was just like, it changed the way I flew. I was more exploratory, right? So I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. Like I never really thought about it from that side. So that helped me transition to where I'm at now. So like after Newbie Drone, I helped them build for a couple of years. I went to Reddit Nation, and so what I'm using now.
It just finally clicked. The newbie drone just finally clicked. Those are the drones that. Yeah, 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 yeah. It finally just clicked. Okay, all right. Yeah, I'm a noob, man.
No, no, that's we. So that was part of our like thing was to lower that entry to barrier, right? To make something like this where you literally get a whole kit, you put on the goggles, you just go fly. You don't have to worry about all other silly stuff. But once you learn how to do that, it used the same software, the same technology, the same everything. So once you learned on this, then you can transition into something like this and then go full on racing and have like a lot of fun. And that's kind of what we did with the newbie drone, and that's part of the naming scheme of
Newbie
newbie.
drone. Right, right.
Yeah.
That's so you helped design a few of those, or you just helped kickstart
Yeah,
the.
so like a few of the names, and then I did a lot of the tuning there. I did a whole lot of the media there, marketing, website. Like it was a small startup, right? So you put on that jack of all trades hats that everybody hates, like they said we were talking about in the beginning, right? Until they need
They
it,
need
and
it.
they're like, oh, thank God we're able to do everything, right?
Right.
Okay, cool. Like here we are. So after that helped build them, they did transition into like a different space almost. I don't know. It was so FAA regulations started coming around, and then like it started affecting like where you could go. So with all my background with everything
Dude,
else,
I,
and then
I
with
used to live by
with technology,
Shaw Air Force Base,
mm,
and I stayed like a quarter mile from Shaw Air Force Base from the gates, and I used to fly
oh no,
like going crazy. Every now and then
oh
a
no,
helicopter would just come out of nowhere, start flying over the top of me, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
it's probably a sign. Like, yeah, they get pretty strict about that kind of stuff now for sure, because it was a vulnerability for a while.
Yeah,
You know what I
it
mean? Like
was.
for,
But my
for
bad.
sure.
You were onto something. Um,
No, just that's where I kind of transitioned into with the Red Eye Nation now. And so I'm using the same skill sets plus more, right? So like all my background and everything from before graduation of high school to now, to try to sound so like cliche or whatever, but like help like, and you can even look at it from a selfish point of view, but to help the next generation like do better. Or like for me, like with my son and all my friends and stuff, I'm just like, look, if I save you minimum 5 years, minimum with through the stupid shit
worth
that
it.
I've done, and I can tell you like if as long as you pay attention, like, and I try to be like 100% a man of my word, like all the time. So like if I say something, like you can count on it, because like I feel like that's going away too. Like there's so much authenticity, I think in general is going away,
Right.
which is like super sad. But there's a few people that are just like they're like I have to be like I get too drunk at parties, like I get too loud, dude, like I can't be anything but me because I'll get caught in a lie like super quick. Like you know
Exactly.
what I mean? I can't. Plus, why waste my energy on that? I'm worried about, like I said, trying to help the next generation bridge that gap between what education says, now you're ready. But then like I've hired a couple of those straight out of college kids, and I'm like no,
Mm.
like like there is still a very large gap between what college told you you're ready for and what you are ready for. Like yeah, I had to bust a couple balls, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Bring some people down, and then like let them know like no, there's like cool, you paid for that degree, awesome. You spent 8 years of your life or whatever trying to do it, but like
Gotta have the experience.
this kid that right, this kid that's been flying FPV for 4 weeks literally knows more than you would. Like so why like there's that weird. I'm just trying to have people create more than they consume, like in a, like a broad sense, and then I'm cool.
That's my that's my motto. You always make me choke.
That's
Like
cool.
that's my motto.
Uh,
Like stop consuming and start creating. Because
yeah,
you'll be on. It's a lot of guys on Instagram scrolling. But look, man, you gotta if you like it that much, go out there and produce your own content or whatever.
it's something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's I forgot where I heard that from, but that's a dope a motto, I guess, a creed, if you.
right.
So how did so coming from that first 3D printer? You built your own
Mhm.
3D printer, right? That's if I read that correctly.
Yeah, program like, so I got, like,
How do you build a
there's
3D
pieces you
printer?
can get.
I saw that.
So you can buy the pieces, the parts,
Yeah.
like, online. So, like, extrusions, 2020 extrusions, just the joints, you need, hot end nozzle, you need so at the time, it was an Arduino, and then on top of the Arduino that you would program, you'd put a ramps board, and that would control all the motors and all that kind of stuff. So it's, like, only because I was in so early, now you can get, like, this ender for, like, 200 bucks, like, soup it up a little bit, and it'll do, like, anything you want it to do, like, for, like, less than $400. You're good to go. But back in the day, like, for the price that I did it was just because I put so many hours in. Like, I remember days, like, when I was cutting the carbon fiber
Right.
where for some reason there's a glitch in the code or something, and then, like, I just watch the drill bit come across my or the CNC bit come across my whole carbon fiber sheet and destroy it. Just, like, slow, like, nothing I can do, I'm just like, those were the days that I was just like, "Oh, I wanna quit." And then I just put another one on, like, quietly too, quiet.
But
Like,
you
I have
just
nothing to
on
say.
the inside, you're like, "What?" You know?
Bro, I wanna do about 1,000 push-ups and punch a shark in the face. I was so mad, bro. I almost jumped in the water. Like, I was damn it.
The first time
But
I ever seen a 3D printer, it was huge. It was, during my time at Samsung, and they
mm,
in the tool shop, these guys had this 3D printer, right? And they were just making, just replacement parts for the machines, you know? Uh, and I'm thinking in my mind, I'm thinking like every 3D printer has to be like that. So I saw a guy on YouTube building custom PC parts, uh, with his, 3D printer that he had at
mhm,
the crib. He just feeding materials in and,
yep,
designing it on the PC and just feeding the material in. Boom. It comes out perfect, right?
yeah. And that's when that kinda shift happened for me. I was like, "If I can do this on a small scale by myself on a boat, like, I know I can teach someone else how to do this. I just need to find the right person." And that's like so now it's like everything else is just a filtering device to find those few, right, that I know is gonna help the next generation kill it. Like, because like, it something needs to shift, bro. There's gonna be, like, a big shift coming in that guy that like, I so camping, hard transition.
Right.
Um, I take my boy camping, like, well, since he was, like, little, right? And I'd always, like the first time I started, I was like, I give him a match and a log, and I'm like, "Here, start a fire." And I watched him, like, light the match and hold it under the fire, right? And he didn't understand why or under the log, and he didn't understand why it wasn't going off, right? And I was like, "Oh, okay, like, why'd you think that was gonna work?" He's like, "Oh, I saw it on TV, on the college,
On
that's how it
cartoons,
works."
yeah.
I was like, "Okay." Right. So, it fast forward to, I think, 4 years after that, we were camping, a group of college kids show up, super loud, super rowdy. They're like, "Hey, can we use your lighter?" I'm like, "Cool, yeah, use our lighter." "Hey, do you have any, like, fluid to start fire?" I was like, yeah, okay, yeah. I think we have some." So we brought some for barbecue. So they're over there trying their damnedest to start a fire, right? 2 hours go by, flashlight I see flashlights in the woods, you know what I mean? They're trying to pick up wood, just sort of random stuff.
Mhm.
They come back, "Hey, man, sorry, we used all your lighter fluid." "No worries, bro. We're not even worried about it." "Hey, your lighter too. Sorry, we used all your lighter, but, can we have some of your fire?" Right? And I was like, "Hey, Tamron." So that's my son's name. I was like, "Tamron, grab a coal." He's like, "Okay, got it." So he just grabs a flashlight. He goes, like, into the woods, and all these college kids are just following him around. Like, "What the fuck's he doing?" And he picks the right, like, tinder, right? So he builds a little tinder bed, and then he grabs a tiny little piece of coal, like this big,
Yeah.
and then all the kids start breaking out their phones, bro, right? And I'm, like, watching my, like I think it was 14 or 15-year-old teach these, like, college kids how to start a fire from tinder, and I was like, "Bro, like, if something popped off, like, nobody here like, none of those people could have helped themselves."
Right.
Like
And
just even an overnight situation to keep yourself warm or
mm,
something. So, like, I think I like breaking them down into that too, like taking away his technology and be like, "Can you survive without it?" So you're not super dependent on it. Like,
just the
just
thought of
something
that
about
makes
that.
me feel helpless now because 'cause I'm one of those people, you know? If
Mm,
I was actually stranded in the woods somewhere, like, what would I do? Like, what would you do? And, God forbid, like, if
I hope
times,
not,
you know, what's going on in the world now, like, you never know what could pop off, but that's a terrifying thought that
right?
so so you teach, like, those type of skills also? Or
Just to my just to, like my family and my son and like, my people to keep them ready just for different stuff, you know? It wasn't one of those things they taught us in the military, unfortunately. I went in there expecting to get more of that, but it was just one of those things where so my mom's Filipino, and growing up, like, I went to the Philippines super young and saw what they were able to do with what they had, if that made sense. I was like, "Bro, like, how'd you make a fire? You had, like, 2 pieces of bamboo." And I was just, like, fascinated with that kinda stuff, and
Mhm.
it kinda stuck with me. I was like, "Where the hell did you get that chicken?" Or like, "You don't remember him running around earlier?" I was like, "Oh, snap." Like, it was a chicken. Like, it's not like a nugget.
Yeah,
Like, they were
yeah.
like, "No, no, that was a chicken." I was like, and that was the first time I clicked with me. I was like, "Yeah, hold on. That's crazy." And I didn't stop eating chicken. It's still delicious. I'll choke on myself. Trust me. I just didn't like at the time. Like it didn't click with me. I was so disconnected from everything, and I feel like that's part of the creative side too. Like once you get to a certain point, you're like, all right, let me go kind of back to that. So I'm not dependent on everything, and kind of like it opens up that free space of creativity too. Also, when you're kind of out there and just like no cell phone service, so just no bombardment. So you're alone with your thoughts for a little bit, stare at the stars and be like, yo,
Mm,
I'm tiny, son. Like I don't know what.
man.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah, once you get to gazing, gaze forever, man. Like, it's
Whatever. It's like a meditation almost.
mm,
It's like a yeah. I think people forget to do that. Just look up every once in a while. Like just
uh,
30 seconds. 30 seconds.
yeah, if I get like, we live in the country, so if we go outside of
Mm,
the city limits just a little bit, the sky looks what like completely different. You're in a whole 'nother world almost, man. So
yeah.
so
I remember in the Navy, that's the first time I experienced that. When I was floating in the middle of the ocean, I went outside one night and I was like, I can't see like this is why like I couldn't see my once it got to like here, I couldn't see my hands anymore.
right.
I was like, this is like crazy. Like if you fell over, you're dead. Like there's zero chance. But I remember looking up and just like it was like almost bright. It was just like a blanket. I was like, that is why. Like
So
that's tough. I was like, man, that shit's sick.
yeah, the only time we'll ever see something like that here is if it's a blackout, right?
Right?
And but it was
You
like
don't want to black out though.
it's like pitch black, right? Like out in the ocean, like what's so just to talk about a little bit of your naval experience, like what like the farthest you guess uh not floated, like
But like travel.
yeah.
Went around the world twice.
On the
Like
ship?
literally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 2 world tours, and then chilled off the coast of Iraq, Iran for a little while. Um, but yeah, 2 world tours in 3.5 years.
What's the
Yeah.
most fascinating stuff, the most fascinating thing you've seen on those you know, campaigns or your duty not duty, I don't wanna say duty, it sounds crazy if I say duty. What's the
Right.
craziest thing you not the craziest thing, but what's the most fascinating thing you've seen?
Mm. I remember, like, I don't know about fascinating, but I guess it was fascinating introspectively. I guess I can go that way because I was like, it's like hard to define for me. I was like different fascinations for different people,
Right.
but I remember, I'm trying to think of what I can and can't say. So I was on a platform that at that time it was so there was 2 platforms in the area, and they were considered the number 1 and number 2 terrorist spots on the planet at the time. Um, and I had to so part of my job was to deliver crypto, and like so we had to like hard deliver crypto like person to person because
Like
it's
on a
like
hard drive? Or like
uh a device on a device. Yeah, it's a top secret device or whatever that you have to like yeah you have to like transfer it via person. And I remember after transferring it, standing on the bottom of the platform, and it was like there was nobody around. I had to wait for a few minutes for the boat to come back around. Um, but it was like like silent, and I remember thinking to myself, zero chance this is number 1 terrorist spot on the planet. You know what I mean? Like or 2, like zero chance. I remember looking at like my boots through, and then seeing the ocean through the grates.
hmm?
Super weird, like, detail to remember, but I just remember I was like, "This seems super peaceful." But then, like, we went to the other one, and I was like, "Oh, that's how quickly it can change." Like, like,
Mm.
that was super peaceful. You know what I mean? For, I guess, what it normally
I
is, I
guess it wasn't
guess,
popping
because it
off
was
at the time, right? So
yeah, it's pretty silly. I remember oh, yeah, we got chased by pirates, kinda. Well, we were chasing pirates, and then they, like, got behind us.
yeah.
Like, I don't yeah, I don't and then they yeah. Yeah, I don't know much to say about yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. Like the modern day pirates, like the guys that sunk the that it wasn't a real uh what did they sunk one of our ships, or was it another ship?
Was that recently?
Probably like the
Probably.
last 7 years, maybe 10.
Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. It was one of the, like the newer age pirate. Small boat though. Like maybe I only saw 3 people on board, but smaller boat.
Oh, okay. Well, no, they don't go. They got chased by
Yeah,
pirates, man.
I
That's
think
fire. I mean, that's not
they
fire,
were
but
trying to they had pirate guns. I was like, oh, they for real
yeah,
out
they
here,
real. Yeah, yeah. That's a real threat, man.
right? Like, let me go back inside and check on these computers real fast.
Yeah. All right, all right. Man, so just
I watched Dubai basically get developed. First time I went to Dubai, there was like nothing. Like they were just starting the building on the largest building or the tallest building,
yeah,
and then the second time it was done. Uh, I remember having a White Russian at the only 7-star hotel like in the world. I guess that's on Dubai, like on one of the little beach things.
yeah.
Yeah, made by a White Russian lady. I was like, "Where are you from?" She's like, "Russia." I was like, "Can I have a White Russian, please?" Like, I don't know. Something told me to do it, so we did that.
Dope.
I don't know. Yeah, not too many like super interesting stories that I can like tell, but like we've had some times. It was fun.
That sounds.
It was fun, but so terrible at the same time because like most of the times it was just like, "Hey, bro, let me see how long you can sweep for." Like, what
You
do you
said sweep,
like? Yeah,
like with
sweet. That was
a
like
broom.
if you ask anybody in the military like what their number one job is, they'll be like probably cleaning. It was just part of our it was part of our thing. We had to keep everything super spotless, and
Okay.
it's like every Sunday you clean for 8 hours regardless, like minimum 8 hours regardless. Like it's clean already. That's your section. Clean it again. Like, but it's clean. Like, what am I cleaning? Clean? Yeah, make it cleaner. Like,
Uh,
okay,
I
yeah,
understand that. Not for 8 hours, but I do understand that coming from like manufacturing, like with the whole 5S thing, man. Like
oh
you
yeah,
gotta clean. Clean, you
yep,
got nothing to do. Clean again. I understand that.
yep, exactly. Keep it going.
So when you started building 3D printers, you started producing your own drones. Um, but did you turn that into a business? Like, did you go all the way and just started producing drones for like someone like me that I can buy, or were you
Mhm.
just I guess a contractor for different companies?
So when I first started, I started just making frames basically. And then I had a couple people ask, "Hey, can you make like a kit for me?" So then I started offering kits where I would build it, I would test it, I would tune it, I would give my business card with my phone number. I was like, "Hey, let me know if any problems come," and I'd send that out. People from Mexico to Kansas ordered that which was super cool. And then when I went to Newbie Drone, yeah, dude, like all around the world, all sorts of stuff from like I said, full kits that like here, let me show you. So like this was one of the kits that while I was there, we helped develop and help test and help tune and do all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So it's like everything inside of here. So it comes with a little remote, comes with your goggles, and then inside of your goggles that you would put on is where your drone, your batteries, your charger, and everything is. Pull that out, and then now this is your screen slash goggles. So like things like that. Like now that's a full kit, and something like this actually would cost like $200 for like
No,
a full kit. So yeah, so you figure that out. So you spend like 250 bucks. You figure out whether or not you like the hobby before you spend like $3,000 really going in. You know what I mean?
$200 for that for all of that. Because I've been out of the game
Mhm.
for a while, so I don't know how much it costs now. But
Yeah, this it's all analog, but yeah, it's I mean it's really good. That's what I always tell people. I was like, start with something like this
yeah,
because number one, it's going to be less expensive, and then it's all the same stuff. If you break when you break something, it's
when
way
you break
easier to
it,
fix.
yeah.
You know what I
I've
mean?
been stuck in the tree for, I mean, like so many times, dude. Like I stuck my Iris Plus in the tree, my Fire One in the tree. I almost cried when I thought I broke it. I thought I
Um,
broke it because I spent at the time it was like for like 3 batteries or whatever. It was a pretty penny, man. It was like
Oh yeah.
$2,700, dude, and
Oh yeah.
and I almost cried. I was like, stuck in a
Yep.
tree, and then it came down, and a limb broke the
Nice.
fall, and it didn't break too much,
Right.
but
But yeah, if you learn to fly one of these little things, you'll like never have problems with DJIs. Like you could literally fly with like one hand, with half an eye clips.
I had a small one like that, but it was so long ago. It was like 8 years ago, right? I mean,
Probably
the
less than that.
handling on that is probably it has to be better now, right? 'Cause there's a lot of
Yeah, yeah.
lag
Now
going
they
on.
feel almost the same, like literally almost the same. Like,
I might check.
and then if you don't like the way it feels, you can tune it and you can change it, do all that kind of stuff.
What? Like, you can tune, like,
So
the
like
way it
yeah,
responds?
different people like yeah, so like you know how you can tune like vertical and horizontal.
Yeah, yeah.
You can do the same thing on the drones. You can put a curve into it. You can there's so much you can do with drones. It's like you can literally control how much power goes to each motor and like it's silly what you can do with it. Like
Alright.
ridiculous.
I'm gonna have to get out there and so you recommend a kit like that? Like,
I would say yeah, to get started, just a little kit like that. Yeah, because otherwise you're gonna if you're talking about like going DJI digital, your base gets your base is probably gonna be like 12, $1,300, and that's still you like building some of this. Like this flight controller was like 150, then the DJI part was like another like 150, plus the frame was like another $60 or something. Plus the motors were another $80 to
right.
$100, plus the propeller, and then you got to buy batteries, then you got to have a charger. You know what I mean? Like they like add up, but
Yeah.
eventually you go. Once you learn how to use this little thing, like flying this is the same exact thing, just a lot more dangerous, a lot more expensive, and a lot faster.
I'll probably just start small again, and go out there and have some fun. Okay.
And then simulating too. Now they have simulators, free simulators you can use, or like $10, $20 simulators, so you can practice on that before you actually even go outside. Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
I was looking at your Instagram yesterday, right? And you guys were flying the drone in the office with a course set up, I think, right? It was like hanging off
Yes.
the wall, like these little cardboard uh, pieces with holes in them. And I'm thinking
Yep.
that these drones are huge that you were racing with, but they are probably about, maybe that was that?
The ones in the office were these.
No, no, wait, no, wait,
I promise you. The ones, yeah.
no,
I know
wait,
you see something like, what? This so fast. Yeah. The ones in the office were these. They were all this size.
man, I would, no, like the way y'all were moving, you're going up, coming down, going back through the hoop, and then
Yep.
there was one post that you had y'all were in the parking lot, right? In the parking lot, it was like a course set up. They had these little white dots going through the parking lot or a
Yeah.
park, I don't know.
Those are the good size.
So so I'm thinking like when you're racing drones, you're just going straight, like who going the fastest, right? But it's an actual course, like almost like the Indy 500, right? Not the Indy 500. What is that? The Formula One.
Formula One, yeah. But it's in 3 dimensions, right? So like some ones you would have to go over then under. Other
Yeah,
ones
over and
under then
under.
over.
I saw that. H- Like how did you go from just a hobby to that? Like how does that happen? Like, are you building that type of speed and that type of drone that can maneuver that way?
Mhm. Yeah,
Damn.
so that's my niche, is FPV. Yeah, that's actually what got me into it. Once I saw the guys with the goggles, I was like, "Oh, it's over. I'm gonna do that. I don't care. Like, I'm gonna figure it out. Like, we're gonna do that." So that's what I've been analog. So the little ones, like we take these in the breweries, and
Mhm.
the breweries let us fly around their breweries. You know what I mean? We used to do weekly races, but we're gonna bring it back. I did a test one a couple weeks ago, and it went pretty good. But yeah, breweries now with Red Eye Nation, we'll do a concert and that like the music box, and then on one floor we'll have drone racing. On the next floor it'll have like merch or like an escape room or a dominoes tournament,
Wow.
and then like on the next floor it'll be like more merch, and then while the concert's going on, so like in between sets,
Hmm.
you can go explore like like use the bathroom or explore different stuff. Go check out drone racing or go check out gaming. There's a FIFA tournament going on or whatever, and that's like Yeah, that's why I like Red Eye Nation. It's almost like me. Like there's so many different things kind of going on that like I dig. Some people are like, it's too much. Like it might be too much for you. Then. I don't know.
That is dope. That's a
It's fun.
fire idea. Like, hey, the concert's going on, but it's all of this other stuff going on.
So then the different personalities, the different. So that's also changing that dynamic, right? Because those people playing dominoes really ain't gonna be like messing with people that like Race Jones typically. Like it's different relationships, and but then they say, what like then the Instagrams start getting exchanged, and then like, oh yeah, my boy has a sick ass car. Can you chase that out with the drone? Of course I can chase that with the drone. Okay. So like that starts. Oh man, I can't.
I saw that clip
The
too. Like
synergies
he
that
was
come from
chasing the
this.
car with the
Yeah,
drone.
yeah,
This
drift
guy-
cars and all that.
oh, so
Yeah, yeah.
it was like sky's the limit with that. Like, well, have you ever had to use like, have you ever been contracted out as a, I don't want to say a spy, but have you ever had to like
Like
somebody
surveillance.
called you, hey man, we need the drone guy, you know, send him in, and then you go, you have your drone and you just going on a mission, like checking stuff out, or like I watch a lot of movies. I watch a lot of Marvel movies. Like so, like, has that ever happened to you? Like you ever got that call?
No, not nothing like that. I mean,
Oh, hold up, you're breaking up. You're breaking up. I think the CIA is like breaking you up. Oh man, we don't got clap. We've been censored. Okay, well, I couldn't hear you. My bad. Can you repeat it? I was okay. Oh yeah, I still can't hear you. Damn. Oh, I can't. Can you hear me? Okay.
can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, weird, but I can't hear you now.
Oh
Let's see.
no. Mic check. Mic. Hey, what about now?
Okay, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, we're back. Hey, they don't want me to tell you. What you asking?
Yeah, we got to get a lip reader in here. Yo, yo, Jonah, get us a lip reader ASAP.
Yeah, right. Make it happen. No, nothing like that. No, not yet. No, most of those are going to be like contract jobs that you like. Yeah,
Nothing that you
yeah.
could talk of, because I understand, man. It's a top secret type
No,
thing, and but
no, there's so what they would typically do with in a situation like that is get somebody that's already vetted, somebody that has like a clearance or whatever background that you need, and then like contact them directly. But I haven't been contacted for anything like surveillance or anything like that. I have
what about
for like scouting out like a location for filming or something like that.
what about like movies or commercials or something or anything?
TV show worked on a TV show that was. I'm not sure if they're still doing it or if they're going to be doing it to a movie or whatever. It was called The Human Baton, but the basic premise was you get a person who's like pretty fit because you don't want just like some dude trying to do what they want him to do, and it has different legs. So like it'll start in skydiving.
Okay,
Like you just take this dude, he won't skydive. He's part of the blue team, so like you have a skydiver, and he takes this guy skydiving. And then he hands him off to the boat racer guy. So this like he's a literal human baton. So this guy has to hold on while they're racing boats, and like then he jumps on a horse. Then the horse race goes, and then he jumps. So it's like so we had to film like different segments of that, and one of them was like the off road racing. I got a lot of footage of that. That was super dope. Like yeah, them like like rubbing racing at like 45, and me literally come between them, and, like going like some sick shots that I got for them. Then they did drifting. They shut down Fort Lauderdale at the beachfront, and they were drifting around the corners there. Got to film that.
oh,
Um, then they had boats, Supercats racing right there in Fort Lauderdale also that I recorded for them. I got some of that. I think I'll just post it. They were like, "Oh, don't post it because we're gonna talk about the things." Like, yeah, but hurry up. It's been been too long. Yeah, I think they wanted to sing it for Christmas or something, but that was last Christmas, so I'll just let them know whatever song. But yeah, other than that, bro, it's just been like kind of smaller gigs, or educate. It's like somebody needs something designed,
Mhm.
or a lot of action sports because that's kind of the niche that people are hitting right now. Is like drifting for sure, like chasing cars. Yeah, water sports not so much. Some people are scared. Like I don't care. I'll use a drone. I don't mind it. Like I'll just tie something to it. I'll recover it. Like it'll be cool.
So,
Um,
how many drones do you own now, or have you ever owned in your whole lifetime? Like the number. I had 5, and people thought I was crazy. you know.
I can see 7, but I know I have like probably like 20 more.
Mm.
Like, but then like some of them are small like this. Like I have like 7, 8 of these. You know what I mean? Like as backups and stuff. And then I have around this size. I probably have like 5 or 6. But then, yeah, the other design that I'm actually working on that I'm going to be releasing, I know I have like 20 of those frames plus just those frames. But that one's going to be released when I go to Woodstopia in Arizona. So we're gonna be camping and then like racing these through the woods like at night. So it should be good. We're gonna love it. Yeah, I know, right? Like children, bro. We're just big children.
But that's the great part about it. Like it's it's looked at as a child's thing, but grown man business, man. It's fun, man.
Right?
You know, I understand that because I'm a huge, you know, video games are supposed to be meant for children, right? But still, it's grown man business. Um, that's fire,
Yep.
man. Man, um, what else about drones that all right, so I'm gonna ask you this. I need your advice. What should I do with my drones that I hadn't flown in a while and the batteries are dead? The controllers don't, the remotes don't work. Like, what
Mm.
what should I do?
Is it DJI? Is it like a DJI?
Yeah.
Okay. Your best bet, bro. Like so for the control for both of them actually. Shit. So the bad thing about lipo batteries,
Mm.
which is the type of batteries I use, is like once it degrades and actually like what
One of them almost like it swelled, and I know that's a done
yeah,
daughter.
yeah, so they start breaking down. And then if you get them like too low, they won't like recover. Like they'll just like the cell will die, and if the cell, you just need to replace it. For the controllers, I know you can pull them apart and pull the battery out and replace it, but that's probably going to be your best bet is replace the batteries themselves. Honestly, your best bet, bro, is to just try to find somebody on like marketplace or offer up that's just like, I need a gun, I don't care, I don't want this piece of crap. I crashed it or it hit my kid in the forehead or so. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I want a gun tomorrow. And offer one of those like cheap because, like you said, just the batteries because the proprietary DJI are so expensive.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'm gonna start off with I'm gonna get back in the game, and I'm in with the not goggles, but I'll call them the
Goggles, yeah,
goggles. I'm gonna
goggles.
get back in the game with the goggles first. Have some fun with something
So,
small because the Inspire One is probably this big. It's huge and it's a lot of fun, but it's outdated. But um, man, so did I give you a chance to finish talking about your company? I think I cut you off. Um,
no, it's good. I mean, we're yeah, it's just Red Eye Nation. We're always doing stuff, and we're going to be. We have an event coming up on the 20th. Um, that's going to be fun for gaming and stuff. It's actually a game centric like event. So yeah, check us out, theredination.com. It's kind of where we'll be updating the website. It's kind of right now, but
yeah.
it's where we're posting stuff.
So, so what? I know the Red Eye Nation isn't just one thing because I saw everything there. Like I was like, oh, they're everything.
I was yesterday. Yesterday we were at Sequan for our vodka brand, Gold Lock Vodka. So we were there to. They're going to be carrying our vodka. So I mean, everything from vodka to coffee to gaming
Do y'all have a
to
vodka? What?
yeah, it's 5 times distilled with sugar cane. It's I with a straight face, I'll say I'll put it up against Tito's any day. Like, that's like it's
Good.
I
I
yeah.
Tito's needs
What's that?
to be dethroned, I
The
guess.
throne?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a minority indigenous owned.
awesome.
That's that's it's a big part of what we do at the Red Eye Nation is
The
working with our people.
tribes.
Like make yeah.
Dope, man.
But yeah, like you said, we do everything under the sun. We have LED trucks
I
to
saw that truck.
you know what
That's
I mean?
fire.
Show.
That's awesome. I came. Like, how many times have I said that's fire and that's dope in this interview? Like, I think I've said that the most ever in my whole podcast history, man. That's great. Yeah, that's fire. Everything's fire. That's dope. That's dope. Oh man. Man. I guess we kind of winding down. So, what else? What else did we miss anything before we get out? Um, man.
Now we'll just have to change Call of Duty stuff, our Activision IDs, so we can hop on later. You know what I mean? Other than
Man, let's
that,
do
no.
it. Let's do it. Let's do it, man. I'm gonna go. I got after this interview. I'm gonna go eat some tacos. Coming back, and I'm gonna be locked in. I already got some tequila. It's my
Well, if
birthday,
you ever
baby.
come down to San Diego, we gonna get you some real tacos, man.
Come
We can
on,
get
man.
some
I
real.
need that. I need that. I'm in South Carolina. The guy served me. Uh, he served me a quesadilla, right, with just cheese and chicken on it. That's it. I didn't understand. I thought I was eating a grilled chicken cheese sandwich or whatever. It was terrible. I couldn't understand it, but hey, but I would love to
You might
come to
as
San
well
Diego.
get something at that point. You might as.
Yeah, I should have just got some bread and throw
I
some.
got a quesadilla thing too. Like,
Dude, I was supposed to come to San Diego for TwitchCon, like
mhm.
my 40th birthday or whatever, but I did not come because you know why? Because COVID hit, I think that year, right?
Yeah,
And it was rescheduled. But San Diego is
yeah,
dope.
everything on. Yes, I did. Yep,
It looks dope. I
yep.
won't say it's
For a
dope.
reason.
It looks dope.
It is. Trust.
Man,
I'm spoiled.
I follow the marketing genius. Okay, he's in San Diego. You know what I'm talking about, man?
I'm better with faces. Probably seen. I'm
Man,
sure once I see his face, oh, that dude.
like the genius marketer guy, man. Like that's what I learned from like, in the beginning, like when I first started. I bought a couple of his courses, man. It's called Genius
Nice dude.
something, but I can't remember his first name. But anyway, man, so this has been a insightful conversation, man. I just got one more question. Like the aliens, like I know you spend a lot of time in the air, and I know
See
you
the
spend a
alien.
lot of time in remote places in traveling
True.
around the world. What's out there, man? Give it to
Bro,
me.
man, I wish I wish I knew one way or the I would man, I wish I was more what do you say? Um
Bold?
More pessimistic
Pessimist?
about yeah, more man, I wish I don't know. I hope that we're not alone. Like I know we're not alone in the broad sense, but I hope like maybe they if something out there has been like visiting us or something, that'd be dope. But I don't I don't think so. I'm just party pooper like that. But
What?
I hope to be proven wrong. I feel like why you need aliens when AI is gonna come around the corner? If that's gonna be like the alien on Earth, like why not? Like it's gonna be a
Yeah.
whole different like sense of that's
That's a whole
yeah that is
nother I think they're all gonna show up at the same time. Like the the corrupted AI would say that, and the aliens are coming, right? But I think that we are
yeah
the aliens, man. I really think that we are the aliens. Like the older species of us of man, those are the real
okay.
aliens. They're just man, that's what I think. I might be wrong.
You think they built the pyramids?
I think so. I think so.
Okay.
And I think giants exist and all of that, man. I don't want to get like I don't want to get into
Episode two. Episode two.
yeah. Yo, I think all of that stuff exists, man. Fairies, like fairies, but little small people like this big, man. I don't know, man. I watch a lot of YouTube and watch a lot of movies.
Got a couple cousins that are just barely bigger. I mean, we're Filipino, so it's like it's pretty normal for us to be small. So
What? Yo, what? Yo, yeah, man, Chris, Chris Davis, easy does it.
sir,
Been a fire
yes, sir.
conversation, man. Any shout outs that you want to give while you're here? Any people that you want to bless with the good graces of your great words, some recognition, family members, or anything?
I mean, just all the people that are there like all the time. This is the same people. You know what I mean? The same people. It's my girl, it's my family, it's my son, it's my mom, it's my dad, it's my sister, it's Alan out in Arizona, Kazika, it's Dane over here, it's all the people at Red Eye Nation. It's like the same people that like who I saw it somewhere. Somebody said I wouldn't eat dinner with somebody I wouldn't starve with, and that's kind of how I am too. I'm like, look, if you're there for me, you're there for me. And if not, cool, keep it moving. Like I'm no hard feelings. I understand. There's
No,
seasons of life for everything. You know what I mean? So I wish no ill on nobody. I send love to those people in particular, and then like to you too, man. Appreciate you,
appreciate it, man.
and I'm sure we'll have another one of these. We'll talk about aliens and stuff.
Ah, yeah, I know you got something in the tuck, man. I know it. I know you have an alien story. I can't wait till we come back for part two. Um, anything that's coming up that you want to tell the people that tell the viewers that's coming up that you want us to be aware of, or anything that you want to shed some light on, as far as business wise, or anything like that.
Nah, just keep an eye out. You'll be seeing a whole lot more red eyes, kind of popping up everywhere. Yeah. And if you have any like ideas, just random ideas that are just like in good faith, like for sure, like you're just trying to bring good vibes, you're trying to actually create in the world, like feel free to reach out. I feel like people don't do that. Like on my Instagram, you'll see it. It's like it literally says, "Let's create something together." Like
Right.
that's like my tagline. So like if we can do it, cool. If we can't, I'll tell you somebody who can. Like my decent network.
Dope. Dope. It's what's the old saying? It's not your net worth, it's your net work,
Work.
right? Your
Yeah.
network is your net worth. And I'm starting to learn
Yes,
that.
sir.
Starting to learn that with that the true meaning of that. It sounds like a great phrase, right? But I'm starting to learn the true meaning of that actual model, you know. So,
Mm.
man, socials. Socials, give the people your socials so we can get
Easy does it.
easy does it. If you want to see some really, very, very ridiculously fly drone stuff or just crazy
Appreciate you.
footage in general. I mean, check out his
I'll
Instagram.
post.
He's everywhere, dude. Like doing that drone. He's just out. He's out there, man. It's just fire.
Yes, sir.
Just fire. Um,
Appreciate you,
I
man.
appreciate it. Look, thank you. I can't say thank you enough. This has been one of the flyest episodes ever. Like I said, it was going to be. We did not fall short. I know this is going to be crazy. Look, y'all got lucky this time. Got somebody flying in the building. But thank you, DZ.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna close it out. All right.
Sure.
And as always, live life, show love, be great, and always keep the kill feed lit. It's been your guy Didio Nassus, the Game Changers podcast with DZ Does It, aka Chris Davis or Chris Davis. We out, man. Peace, 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 peace. Man, thank you, thank you.